know what? It's funny because I watch these hiking videos every now and then of these guys that like hike the Appalachian Mountains or whatever, and like watching this guy like travel through the mountains backpacking or whatever. He'll be like traveling for 8 hours and he gets to the top of a mountain and there's a building up there and like it's like, oh, we're gonna have lunch up here. I'm like, there's a restaurant on the mountain that you can only get to after an 8-hour hike. There's like goats walking around the building. I'm like, one, how did you build this? That's the first thing that went through my head. How did you build a building up there? How did you get the materials? And two, like, how are you staying in business? Is there that much like hiking traffic to keep you busy year round? Like, that's just where my mind goes. But I think, like you said, it's just such a different lifestyle for these people that live in these other countries, and we have no concept of what it's like because we're just used to like go all the time.
All right. Let me put my lunetas on and get ready for this podcast.
Damn, this is a new set of glasses.
Yeah, it's warm outside. It's freezing in here every time we do this podcast. So rocking the cardigans a little early this year.
Nice.
Most of them are still in storage, but this is the one that I got out for the fall, the early fall weekend, which was like, it was cold this weekend, right?
Yeah, we were up in northern Michigan and it was like freezing.
Oh yeah, you went to Sleeping Bear Dunes?
Yeah.
For what? Like,
so I actually sold my bike to some dude in Sault Ste. Marie, and we got asked to stay up in northern Michigan. And I was like, I don't want to go spend all that money driving up there, hanging out all weekend. And then that guy asked me to buy the bike from me, and he's like, I'll give you $1,000 to drive it up here. I'm like, done. So I drove up to Sault Ste. Marie and took a little detour on the way home, and we stayed up in northern Michigan. And we went to the dunes.
Nice.
So the dude pretty much paid for my entire trip this weekend, which was awesome. I mean, that's a crazy drive, but it's so fun, man.
Where did you stay?
We just stayed at a friend's cottage or cabin. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was like a little spot. We were hardly even there.
Really nice. Sleeping Bear Dunes is amazing, man.
So
nice. Like, that whole area around there is just incredible. It doesn't even feel like you're like that close. Like, it's really only 3-4 hours from here.
I think 4 hours. I think it was when we drove from there back home. It was about 4-hour drive.
Right.
So crazy, man. But it's straight north. Like it's different when you travel 4 hours in Ontario, because 4 hours in Ontario, you're only at Toronto. 4 hours northern Michigan, you're going straight north. So you get to experience a lot more of the northern elements, the environment, and everything a lot quicker than you do when you're traveling.
You're taking those small highways too, so you'll be going pretty good clip, and then you'll be down to 50 kilometers an hour as you pass through small towns, small town America, little diners.
Yeah. You know what I actually loved about that the most, traveling in northern Michigan like that, was the fact that there's not on-roads. Like the on-roads that we have in Ontario, where it's like a highway stop, they're brutal and they're so disgusting now. I find the on-roads in Ontario, they're disgusting. They used to be nice. Now they're all broken. There's garbage everywhere. It's disgusting. And like in Michigan, it's like you have to stop in a little town to get out and go to the washroom and grab a coffee. It's like there's no super convenient building on the side of the highway that is just trash that you can go stop at and take a leak or whatever. It's like you got to go through the town that my grandma grew up in. It's so nice. I loved it. I love it.
On the 401, we started hitting Flying J's.
Way better.
So it's like a truck stop, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit further off, but not far. It's like a half a block.
Yeah, a block.
And
yeah.
It's way cleaner. It's got way more selection. It's got actually awesome coffee for half the price.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. But you know what? I was just watching football this week, and the Colts Eagles were playing in Brazil.
Nice.
It was the first ever NFL game in Brazil, and it was in Sao Paulo. And Danny and I, for my 40th birthday, we flew to Sao Paulo for one of Randa's fights. So when I was still working with the UFC fighter, Randa Margos, right?
Super crazy.
Randa, we got to Sao Paulo, and we were in Sao Paulo. We, after Randa's fight, I believe she was in a draw in that fight. She got ripped off. The home fighter got the draw, and Randa beat her. She beat her. But anyways, that's the whole piss off. But after that, we got in the car, and we drove all the way to Rio de Janeiro. So we rented a car, drove through crazy Brazil. Look out, it's so dangerous. It was fine. Right? Beautiful. To the countryside.
Yeah.
It took us so long. It was like a 2-day drive to get to Rio.
Oh, wow.
Stopping everywhere. We stopped in Airbnb in between a few days. But anyways, where I was going with this is the truck stops. I guess it's like this in Europe, like in Italy and stuff. The truck stops were 5-star. Dining. It's they just live such a more relaxed life over there. They're you're stopping here. You're sitting down. You're having espresso. You're having a full meal. It's not trash White Castle and Burger King and
Yeah.
New York fries and all these things. It's like actual, like you're sitting down, like it's an experience, like you're gonna dine.
Stop it.
Yeah, amazing.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, it was so cool, but it's hard to get your head around because I'm that guy. I'm racing that GPS, baby.
Yeah.
I like to travel, I like the road trip, I like to look at the scenery, but I also want to get to my destination. So it was a real press pause on you when you get out of these places and you're like, well, we gotta like sit down and have espresso and a croissant and
you get like a menu, like that.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Amazing. What a difference, man. You know what it's funny is I watch you hiking videos every now and then of these guys that like hike the Appalachian Mountains or whatever. And like watching this guy like travel through the mountain backpacking or whatever, he'll be like traveling for 8 hours and he gets to the top of a mountain and there's a building up there and like it's like, oh, we're gonna have lunch up here. I'm like, there's a restaurant on the mountain that you can only get to after an 8-hour hike. There's like goats walking around the building. I'm like, how did you build this? That's the first thing that went through my head. How did you build a building up there? How did you get the materials? And two, like, how are you staying in business? Is there that much like hiking traffic to keep you busy year round? Like, that's just where my mind goes. But I think, like you said, it's just such a different lifestyle for these people that live in these other countries. And we have no concept of what it's like because we're just used to like go all the time.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've said my kids were asking me the favorite place I've ever visited. I've never been to Europe, but Brazil, man, I would recommend Brazil to anybody. Brazil was beautiful. And a lot of people think of Brazil as third world country, but it was like very much, like I'd say second world, if not first world. Like the infrastructure was incredible. The roads were great. When we got into Rio de Janeiro, obviously there's a very, very bad places there, like the slums, I forget what they call it. They got a good word for it. It's like bodelas or something, or bodega, not bodegas, but something to that effect. And, cause they speak Portuguese there, right? And it was wild. Like we could hear the gunshots every single night. We were right on the edge where my Airbnb was. It was pretty hilarious. But if you've ever seen Rio, like on TV, it's like right on the cliffs of the ocean. And so our Airbnb was in the decent area, like the safe, area. I wouldn't say touristy area, but more about like a safe area. But to get to it, because of the way the cliffs are, you had to drive right into the slums and then drive back up into our Airbnb. So like the Ubers would actually not come and get us. So every morning and every night, we tried not to come in too late. Danny and I would have to walk down right into like basically like the bad neighborhoods, like where they would not come get us, walk down and then walk back out to be able to get anywhere. Come on. And so, I go right away with my strategy, like the choose the next guy strategy, right? And that's just confidence, look people in the eye, say hi to everybody, not shy away, like actually go right to the stands where they're serving like their cheap coffee and pastries in the morning and like go grab my food right there, right next to everybody. So that it's, you're not showing like I'm trying to rush through here.
Yeah.
But that's when you're traveling like Danny with their blonde hair, or at least with their blonde hair.
Yeah.
You're like, man, we should have dyed your hair for this trip. They can stand out a little bit less, right?
Yeah, I know.
But very, very cool trip, man.
Sounds so sick. I can't wait to go check out that place, man.
And Bart was just telling me, he just got back from Italy and he said that's exactly what they're like, the rest stops there. Because the rest stops here, you're right, they're gross and they're starting to get worse.
They're like, way worse, dude. So we travel.
They're packed too lately. Like they're
packed. And I swear the maintenance or the janitors, whatever you want to call it, they stop work at 6 and they don't show up till 6.
Right, probably.
And like Lisa and I travel a lot late at night because we drive back and forth to Kingston, like, I don't know, 8 times this year already. We've done it. It's a long drive, but we try to leave at 10 o'clock at night. So we dodge all the Toronto traffic. So when you get to a rest stop at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, there's garbage everywhere in the parking lot. Inside, there's garbage on the floor, garbage on the tables. And I'm like, what is happening? How is this acceptable? It's so sad and disgusting to see how bad it's got, man. And I don't know if it's just like an overloaded, like crazy amount of new people coming in. I don't know what it is, but like it's all of a sudden like the infrastructure is too small. It feels like really quick. And I don't know what it is because I never remembered it growing up like that.
Yeah, we were coming home just 2 weeks ago. We talked about the last episode after the Coton BAs, and we stopped for ice cream with my aunt and uncle lived in Niagara, and we said, boys, like, we don't do this much, but we're going to stop. You guys can get McDonald's if you'd like. So we get McDonald's at one of the rest stops, and this has nothing to do with the cleanliness, but man, McDonald's is also not what I remember it being. You know, like I remember like really enjoying my burgers, and I don't know if it's just because I've gotten pickier in my old age, or I'm just eat so much healthier. I mean, I ate healthy as a kid too, like. And McDonald's is not an everyday thing in my family, that's for sure. It was like kind of like that. Like it's like, oh man, you guys just won the game, or you tried so hard, it's a little treat. And I ate this burger and I felt like shit.
Terrible.
Like, and I did not even enjoy it. Like there was no flavor to it. You know, I'd much rather, I mean, we were talking near fast food, but a place like Chuck's Roadhouse or like, you know, those are not 5-star dining by means, but at least it tastes like a hamburger. And it's like, you know, like it tastes like it was cooked by somebody. It's disgusting.
Yeah, dude, last time we had, I don't remember which one.
And it cost me fucking $80, man.
Right. What?
I bet you, close to that. By the time they both got burgers and fries, and of course I got the double. Colt and my kids don't eat off the Chuck Kids menu, man. They're like double burgers. You know,
Yeah.
They're
Grown
like,
boys,
crushing the food, but it was expensive and it was not good.
Terrible, right? It's honestly like when there's places like Macro Foods now, like that's kind of what it is for me. It's like Macro Foods, like you could buy a meal that's actually going to give you the protein that you need.
Right,
it's
for $14.99.
For $14.99. Or you go to McDonald's, you get, you know, a burger and fries and a drink, and it's $14.99.
Yeah,
and it's like
combo.
And it's just as fast. It's like you might as well just, you know, get filled up with the good stuff. It's going to get you protein, not this garbage. Like McDonald's is terrible, man. It sucks now. You're right.
Even the lobby, we were in the lobby of McDonald's. So it was actual standalone McDonald's. Now that I think it was a rest stop. We stopped plenty of rest stops this year at the 401, but that was an actual standalone McDonald's, and it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And because of the trash that lives in all these towns now and all the epidemic, let's call it a zombie epidemic that we're going through.
Yeah.
Couldn't use the bathroom. You had to actually go get buzzed in.
Come on.
You don't talk to the person at the counter. You got to punch something in on the screen, of course. So I can't pay cash. I got to pay it. With my credit phone or that, which is sweet, by the way. That the whole Apple Pay thing, like although they're tracking everything we do, is an amazing little feature to not have to have your wallet everywhere you go. But just a negative experience. And later, Braun has the shits, and it's like, oh my god! And it's because of the food.
Oh, guaranteed, man. It's the worst. It sucks. Like last time I ate something like that, it's like I'm not even done my burger and I have a headache. It's like I don't get headaches unless I eat stuff like that now. And it's cool once you've been off of eating food like that for, you know, at least a noticeable amount of time, where you actually start to notice that your body reacts to it. But when you're constantly eating it, you're constantly in like a reacting state where your body just lives in the area where you have headaches. And it's like, well, why do I have headaches all the time? It's like, if you take away the crappy food for like, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then you eat it and then you have the headache immediately, it's like, that's why. You learn it, you kind of learn it by like as time goes on, but it's crazy now. It's the same thing with sugar. If I have sugar now, ice cream, headache immediately.
Ugh.
Like before I'm done the ice cream cone. But Lisa got me, Ninja Creamy for
oh my god, here we go. Another Ninja Creamy guy. Out of it.
Dude, it's amazing. I'm getting like 40 grams of protein, and I'm like eating whole milk and protein powder, some cinnamon, and maybe some chocolate chips if I gotta get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these guys, so the strength squad, all the people that you've seen in the gym all the time, right? Like a lot of them come to the 4 p.m. on Wednesdays, that strength squad group. They're all about this Ninja Creamy thing.
Have you not tried it?
Somebody brought one in and I had a couple of spoons. It was good. I mean, I gotta say, but I feel like I have a really good blender. I've yet to try this. You have to pre-freeze everything for this Ninja Creamy.
Yeah.
I feel like my blender can handle this.
It's weird because it's not like a blender. It's like it almost like whips. It's like whipping frozen milk.
But it's not like the Food Network where you put the ice cream in, like, you know, like when you watch like one of those shows, Food Network. It's not like that.
Oh, I don't know.
It's more of a blender. No,
it's definitely not like, it's definitely different than a blender. What the actual parts are different, I have no idea. Sure, it has a blade that spins, but
that's your handy.
It's different. Yeah, it kind of like you freeze it because it's just milk. There's no ice cubes or anything. It's just milk and like protein powder or like almond milk, whatever you want to put in it.
Right.
And then you gotta freeze it for like 24 hours and it blends it, but it like whips it. I don't know what it is, bro. It literally makes ice cream. It's like a protein shake in ice cream form.
Really?
It's amazing.
Nice.
I'm like, I gotta stop. I'm like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong each time I'm eating it.
I'm a big fan of ice cream, but like what people don't understand, I think, is like what you said. If you're eating healthy and you're eating lots of protein, lots of meat, you're really not craving things the way you would. It's very, very hard to overeat. It's very hard to overeat.
Yeah,
Since I've been eating healthy for a very significant long time now, significantly amount. I can't say those words. Forget it. You guys know what I mean. However, since I've really leaned into the carnivore, pseudo carnivore, I'm not true carnivore, but it's like I'm almost carnivore. It's like I just pretty much is carnivore. It's meats. If not, I have a little bit of potatoes, like a little bit of a heavy carb. Like I'll have a piece of toast with my breakfast, but it's really, really limited, and then some fruit. I do not have the cravings I used to have. I will hammer smash out some chocolate chips every once in a while out of the fridge, right out of the package.
Absolutely.
But that's about it. And it's really good. I mean, I'm staying lean as I've ever been just with those simple concepts. And it's fucking red meat is just so good every time.
I know, I love it.
So good every time.
We Lisa and I eat a very, very basic diet, man. Like red meat and rice or chicken and rice, like, or eggs and Ezekiel bread. Like that's for the most part all we eat. And every day I'm like, this is the best meal I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I
like,
love it every day. And Danny's got into the sourdough. She makes her own sourdough.
Oh, that's unreal.
So it's like, that's what I'm having with my breakfast.
Yeah.
So usually it's like eggs, sourdough, and like half a grapefruit. And lunch is usually just a meat, right? And then dinner, depends on what my workout is in there. These would be flip-flopped. And then dinner is going to be a potato and a meat. Yeah, you know, a little bit of veggies in there too. We'll have some veggies, but not much at all. Not much at all, but it's very, very limited. And then usually bedtime is like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt with protein powder and either peanut butter or some chocolate chips as a snack or like berries again. You gotta get a Ninja Creamy. I gotta get back on a Ninja Creamy. You're gonna come on this podcast one day and be like, bro, I bought a Ninja Creamy and my life changed forever. That's what I'm waiting for the day. It's funny you say that though, because like I feel like the more sugar you eat, the more sugar you crave, which is weird. And I don't know if that's just for me, but like it's the same sort of thing. Like when I'm not eating sugar specifically, I don't want the sugar anymore. It's weird to me. But that's how that's just what I've noticed for myself. I'm not craving it. It's like it gets rid of the craving. Really? Or the sugar creates the craving. I don't know what it is. I think it's the sugar creates the craving, which is I think where all of these problems have started. Yeah. The trending health issues since the 80s. And I listened to an insane podcast about this, and I would be destroying it if I try to quote all these crazy numbers about the FDAs and those American podcasts and how the tobacco companies bought up the food companies and used the same tactic they use with, nicotine and tobacco now to addict people with sugar. Oh man. And it's wild. It sounds like typical hat stuff, but I firmly believe it's true. There's some ungodly number. It was like 85% of the 120 people who sit on the FDA board are sponsored by one of those major food companies like Kellogg. Those ones that are just pumping out sugar, terrible whole grains, all those things like that are just the motor oils, the canolas, the seed oils that are top. It's awful and it's toxic. And how the less economical, like the less, let's say like less wealthy, like the lower income is, I guess, the word I'm looking for. How they really have no choice but to eat in this manner, and it's just making them sicker and sicker. Yep. And now that they're prescribing Ozempic, they're trying to push it down so you could get Ozempic when you're 6 years old. Because 50% of children under 12 are overweight. Obese, not even overweight, obese. Like, that is wild. And it's so sad. It's so sad because it breaks my heart. Once you get on Ozempic, you're gonna be lifetime drug. It's I don't know. I might be misspeaking here, but I believe it's a monthly script, and you're in the system, and you're now paying out, and the taxpayers' money is going to pay. It's such a wild. Being people who pay so much tax. It's so sad. It's so sad. So it's funny you said the tinfoil hat thing. It's crazy that this conversation has to be a tinfoil hat conversation. But you know me, bro. I love my tinfoil hat. I wear that thing all the time. Yeah, you wear it in here. Right? Yeah, but it's crazy. And I mean, take this with a grain of salt when you're listening to this, but like food grows in the ground. It's a lack of education, I find, for a lot of these things. We're planting flowers
we're planting flowers in pots downtown, and we're planting flowers and trees all over the place, but the food grows in the ground, but we have starving people on the streets. Like, why are we planting flowers? Throw the potatoes in the ground and leave them. Plant the flowers on top of it and then dig up the potatoes. Like, we are living in a manufactured issue, in my opinion. We live in a manufactured issue where like starvation and like the system that we live in is so broken that the food that grows out of the ground effortlessly is hard to get or expensive. What? But we're paying for flowers to be planted in planter boxes downtown and like on the middle of the streets on Tecumseh Road and everything. I'm like, what are we doing?
Well, think about like some of these school programs where kids who are, less fortunate are getting meals provided.
Yeah.
But these meals,
they're terrible for
are
them.
coming as Lunchables, which it's like eating your Mike DeFazio coaster.
Yeah, it's a cardboard. Yeah.
And our tax money is going to pay for those Lunchables, which is being fed to these children, which is making these children sick, which is making them into our healthcare system, which is making us pay more money to take care. This is the one thing that's avoidable. If we could get healthy food to everybody.
Oh man, imagine.
If we were spending all that money on the healthy food rather than the pharmaceuticals and all the other stuff that has to go into serving, I'm reading the book that everybody's been reading about the health span and lifespan and how you can treat cancer and things before they happen through diet. It's very, very sad. I mean, we can go on that for a long time. Yeah. That's not what we came to do today, though. Like, okay, so we have this episode's edition of The Morning Wood.
That's
The Morning Wood, sponsored by Mike. Give me the name of your business one more time. The new business.
Maker's Legacy.
Right? This is sponsored by Mike's Maker's Legacy, where he will coach you to be a woodworker to run an efficient business. And then it's not just all about your business with Mike, because I know that because he does a lot of what I do with people with health. It's not just about your health. It's about the whole thing. All the pillars in your life.
Yeah, man, you can't leave a legacy if you're broken.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You might have a great business, but like if you're a broken person, you're screwed. And you're not going to leave anything. So like it's full circle, that's for sure. But anyways, that's the little tidbit for you.
All right. So The Morning Wood, sponsored by Mike, is where we take a comment or a question from a listener. And this one came from a listener. It is, let me see, it's Amanda. Amanda out of Windsor says, what's your take on anniversaries? Do you guys celebrate them? Do you wish other people a happy anniversary?
That's a fun question.
It is a fun question because Danny and I have been married for for some years. For some years. And hilarious is that she will listen to this. No, she will not even care.
Okay.
We don't celebrate it. Literally. Like, we might pass each other by in the morning and be like, oh, it's our anniversary. Happy anniversary. It's December 30th. I know that. The year I couldn't tell you at this point. More than 10.
Yeah.
But we don't celebrate it. And I find it so odd that anybody messages me. It's like, happy anniversary.
I think that's weird.
I'm like, thanks. Like,
I think that's funny you say that. Like, I think for me, if you're celebrating a big one, like for example, we celebrated Lisa's parents' 40th wedding anniversary this year. They did like a big thing for that. That's a huge accomplishment.
Okay, well, this is where I fall in. It's right there with what you said. I believe in wishing my parents happy anniversary.
Okay.
Because they started it all. They're the peak of that pyramid for our family.
Yeah.
My sister, my friends.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't care. My own. My sister's anniversary, like my mom would say, oh, it's your sister's anniversary. And it didn't even strike it's not in my calendar. I have no intention of wishing her happy anniversary. I'm happy they have a great marriage, like all those things, but happy anniversary, it's just not something I think celebrate. But your parents, I think you do.
I agree with that. Like, I think that's probably the only person I would wish happy anniversary or like tell them happy anniversary. Like that, I think that's right. Like, I wouldn't call my friends and do it, but like my parents, yes. I think that's a good one. That's a great point.
All right. And you and Lisa.
Lisa and
you guys are doing your month anniversary. You're so in love still.
Yeah, we're so in love. So it's actually hilarious.
It's 14 18 months today.
Yeah. 4,900 hours, babe.
Inside the back of the Tony's truck.
Yeah. It's funny, I saw the video of the first video. Lisa and I hung out, and Tony was there, and we had a wild night that night.
Yeah, it's a wild night, like not a wild romance night. Like it was a wild like party.
It was a wild party night. And it was mental, man. I literally have on my picture frame in our living room a video of you dancing 4 o'clock in the morning doing karaoke. Hilarious. It's such a funny video, man. So funny.
At the time of my life. And then I woke up the next day. I think I have the worst hangover in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Turns out I have COVID. Remember, I had to drive all the way home from Collingwood.
Yeah.
Like, hungover with COVID. It was the worst experience. It was like the best first night, worst second night I've ever had. Like, we were in that mansion and I didn't leave the house the whole day.
You sat on the couch all day. Yeah.
I was like so disappointed in myself. I'm like, I'm a lush. I can't even move. I'm out there skiing. It's nice as blizzard. Couldn't be in Collingwood at a better time with the skills.
Unreal.
And I couldn't even get myself on the hill. Come to find out, it was COVID, and I'm the basher of the vid.
Yeah.
However, man, it punched me in the face. I'm not gonna lie to you. For 3 days, that was fine, guys. Fine.
Yes, and then it was good.
But yeah.
So, that night we were snowboarding in a blizzard, so it was the freshest powder ever. So sick, man. That was the best.
Oh, it was awesome.
So much fun.
It was a great trip. So anniversaries, we're gonna say my advice to each their own, of course. But I'm not expecting anybody to wish me a happy anniversary, so please don't feel like you have to.
Yeah.
You know, my parents maybe, because they're like, I believe it's like they're looking down their legacy. So it's nice that they want to celebrate mine or my sisters, and they're proud to watch us grow our families. But I just think I'm happy for everybody. I'm happy you got kids. I'm happy you're doing all the things for the family. But at the same time, it's like, I'm going to go all about my day. I'm about my day. And I'm a happy birthday wisher, though.
There you go.
Happy birthdays.
I love that. Oh, yeah. Happy birthdays are my jam.
Yeah, I'm a big happy birthday guy.
I just started because, like, for a long time, I got rid of my Facebook. And my Facebook was the way that I would find out about his birthday. So a couple of years ago, I started putting it in my calendar because I was like, I would forget my mom's birthday because I don't have Facebook, and I'm like in my own world most days. Like yeah, I'm in my own world most days. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun place to be. It's like there's like rainbows and unicorns everywhere most days, and like butterflies flying by.
Man, by the time this one comes out, I'm gonna be celebrating. I'm turning 46 at the end of this month, man. Crazy, and I'm like a person like I love my birthday.
Yeah,
I don't want anything from anybody. I appreciate every text I get. We always have a great workout in here for my birthday. I really love my birthday. It's a day to kind of like just celebrate being happy. And I love that. And I love celebrating other people's birthdays. I'm always a big one. Me and my buddies growing up was always a night that you never missed a birthday. When we would go out, we would get drunk, of course, and have fun. But man, I love the birthdays. I love them.
So good.
Mine, theirs, mostly theirs, because like those ones you usually survive a little bit better. But
yeah, because you don't remember your own.
Yeah, which is one of the many reasons that I don't drink anymore. So it's been 10 months, man.
Yeah, wow.
10 months. Like, once right around my birthday, it'll be 10 months.
Damn.
It's crazy. It's coming up on a year.
Yeah, coming up on a year. And what would you tell the audience about it?
Enlightened.
Okay.
Enlightened. And, we're going to be doing another episode with Seamus coming up soon. And we're probably going to talk about it a little bit with him, because I know he's experienced that for a long time, but it's been a really weird. In a ways where I feel so much sharper. I feel so much more in touch with, my emotions and my feelings, and looking back at things. It's really odd. It's very, very odd situation to be in, but I feel great. And I'm not even just talking about physically. I just feel sharper, smarter, and more in tune with everything that's going on around me.
I know you and I spoke about, because when we both did 75 hard, I think it was like the first time you ever were like off the booze for that long.
Yeah, for longer than probably 5 days.
Yeah, back then. I mean, that was
15, 16.
Yeah. So I remember we were talking about it back then, and you were like, dude, it's another amount of clarity that you didn't know you were missing out on.
Yeah, it's like, that's why I guess enlightenment, I don't know if that's the right word. I just feel like I've risen up that chain that Oz talks about.
Yeah.
Right there, like towards enlightenment. I just feel like a little bit brighter and smarter. And, I really wanted to have a drink. It was a couple weeks ago, we were celebrating something. And then this past weekend, my best buddy, Joe, Joe Morton, it's his birthday. And, I still I go celebrate the birthdays with the boys, and the Lions were on, and he was having just a nice whiskey, and it was like I was having a cigar. Nobody was left there. I knew it was going to be just me and him. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will just have a sip of a drink with him because that's always something we've done. It's not going to get drunk. I just feel like it's just a slippery slope.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair enough.
I feel like then it'll be like, you know, the next weekend that you have something else and then something else. And I go to Edmonton next week for the talks that I'm doing out west. And we go to nice dinners. And it's going to be like, oh, I should have one with these guys. And the next thing you know,
slippery slope, like you said.
You know, I just see it happening. It'd be that night I'm going to have 5 or 6, which is not a crazy amount, but it's going to be enough to impact my ability to perform the next morning. 100%. That's something that's very important.
It's crazy. Like once you're like aware of it and once you've had enough time off of it, you actually start to realize like the effect one drink will have on you the next day. It's like, you notice like how, like you said, you're like sharp. Like everything's sharper. It's almost like the colors are brighter. Like there's less of a clouded vision. Your brain's like thinking different. And it's weird because you only notice it after you've been off it for so long, I find.
Yeah. Other things I've realized, you know, I'm no spring chicken. So coaching baseball a few weeks ago, it's a very long weekend. We play lots of games, brutally hot outside. We're sleeping in hotels. We're traveling. And generally, I would stay up with the coaches. They stayed up late. You know, they weren't irresponsible by any means. And there's something I would do, and I'm not against them for doing it. And they're all fine in the morning. But I know I would have stayed up. I would have had to wake up at 7 a.m. and then been on that baseball diamond for 8 hours in the sun, dealing with little kids, stress. I would have been snapping at kids. I would have been way less calm. I just know that. Okay?
Yeah.
And like, I remember thinking at one point that while I'm coaching baseball, I was like, God, I can't believe I used to do this hungover because I am exhausted right now.
Yeah.
You know, and there's just everything. That's just one little point in my life. But there's so many things. I used to come in here and, open up 4 a.m.
4 in the morning,
hit FYFs and have been like,
just reeking like booze.
Yeah, or gone out for day drinks because I had a lunch thing that day and, had 3 pints and then come in here and done a million burpees or like today's the 9/11 workout's torture.
Yeah.
Obviously for good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of 9/11, you're young. Where were you during 9/11? Do you remember it?
I was in, what year was that?
2001.
2001. I was 10 years old.
10 years old.
So I would have been, what is that, grade 3?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I grade 3, maybe grade 4. I don't remember what it was. I remember being in school, the room I was in, right after recess. Lights were off in the whole school. We were like, what's going on? We didn't know what's going on. And like, they brought a TV and they showed it. And I was like, why are we doing this? Like, even then I was like, why are you showing us this? And I mean, let's be honest, man, I was 10 years, I had no idea what was going on. 10 years old, like no clue what's happening in the world, right? What is New York City, right? Essentially, for me, like, I was like, I don't know where that place is. But yeah, I remember, man. Crazy.
Yeah, I was a police officer.
Yeah.
So I was working, I'd been on maybe 2 years, so I'm walking the beat downtown still. And I remember a girl that I was dating at the time had been over because I got home at 7 a.m. So she came over to hang out for a minute.
Yeah, hang out, play
right?
chess.
And then she left and I fall asleep. And then my phone's ringing and it's her. And she's like, planes have exploded. And I'm like, so out of it because I was asleep in an hour. I'm like, you're talking crazy. Like, what are you talking about? There was no internet then.
Right.
And what are you talking about? Like, you must be watching a movie. I sing these words. I remember saying these words. And she's like, flip on you gotta turn on the TV. And I had the old TV. I was still living at my parents' house then. Like, I wasn't even out of the house because I had really only been a real cop for probably 8 months. And I flipped when you get a real wage. I was a cadet for a year and a half or something. So I flipped the old, tuning TV. Like, the ones you're like,
yeah.
You got to pick UHF or VHF. Remember? It's like 4 years.
I think that's before my time, bro. I don't know.
Anyways, there's an old TV. I think there was new TVs by then, but this is what I had in my room. And just I turned on, I see the second plane actually hit. And it was like, oh my God. And then for the next while as a cop, we were downtown, the border. I remember just the border being at the tunnel every day. It was back as far as you could see. Like, it was back all the way to like where you used to live.
Yeah.
All the way down Wyandotte. Cause that's how it was so hard to get across the border and traffic. And it was wild time span. And then just watching the videos and the horror stories. Oh, one awful thing.
Terrible. It's crazy, man.
Terrible, dude. So, boys, I prepped as usual. Whew. Okay. This episode's edition of Overrated Underrated brought to you by my Tactical Life program. I have a 12-week remote transformation called the Muscle Mission. Okay, that is coming out in October. I am going to be doing right now pre-launch 60% off for anybody who wants to DM me before my birthday. So my birthday is September 26th. I'm giving you a celebration of my 46th birthday. I'm giving 60% off to anybody who DMs me. I only got 5 of them though. 5 of them, and I'm going to start launching that this week. And then the true transformation starts just in October. But if you're interested in saving yourself some big cash and you want to get jacked the natural way by eating meats, lifting weights, and putting your nose to the grindstone and doing all the little things without the cheats, hit me up.
That's great. That sounds fun.
You want to do it?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I got a baby coming, bro.
I'm interested in having abs and stuff.
I like abs.
I like abs. When it's cold out. When it's cold out, I'm like, these things are so fucking useless. I was at football the other day. You know, football's got all body sizes, right? My coaches are big boys. The other coaches with me, they're out there, I swear to God, in shorts. And I am in like jeans. I've got like a hoodie on. I've got a vest on. And they're out there in shorts and a hoodie. That's all they wear year round. And I'm like, you guys are way more efficient than I am.
Yeah.
So, okay, overrated, underrated. First one we got coming up. Convenience stores. We talked about convenience stores. Okay. I feel like you're a big convenience store guy.
I am not a big convenience store guy, but
I can see you skateboard rolling up.
Bro, okay, so I have the. If you guys have ever been to Fort City, there is
Here we go.
There is a corner store called Sharon's
in
Fort City. It is literally a Costco in the middle of Fort City. And let me be honest, there's no grocery stores, there's no gas stations in our entire BIA down there. Sharon's literally services an entire part of our city.
It's been there forever.
It's been there for forever, and it is the best place. The people are the nicest. I literally have lived out of that corner store for a long time because it's practically Costco. If you have a chance to go to Fort City, go to Sharon's. That's my shameless plug.
When we get behind to give you a cut for your BIA, you can plug Sharon's on there. So I'm going to go with underrated, man. I love a good convenience store. I stopped at one yesterday, and the guy behind the desk, there was definitely a communication problem between him and I. But he was so pleasant. It was like hard to even get frustrated. And the communication was like, it was nil. It was like, I'm pointing and he's trying to communicate back to me and we were unable to like make it work.
Big smile.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
We kept going this, all the way across until we figured out what product I was looking for. And, all good. But I do love a good convenience store. I love running in. I love being able to. I love when they have a good coffee.
Yeah,
I feel like that is with the prices of coffee right now, $4.79 or whatever it is to go to Starbucks. If I can get a good cup of Joe at the convenience store, served in those terrible for the environment cups that will never cool down. The styrofoam cup you get at a convenience store will keep your coffee warmer for longer than a Yeti, man.
Oh.
Like, it's coming from those Flying J's.
Yeah.
On the highway, I'm like, I can't even drink this guy.
Get all the way home. Yeah, get all the way home.
Get the lid off. It's still hot.
Yeah, it's splashing around. Yeah. I know the pain.
Convenience stores. All right, next one. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. Underrated, overrated. Elevators.
How far are we going?
Well, as far as you want to take it.
Loving it down a little bit. I don't know. This is a weird one. I don't know. Is it overrated? Yeah. I think elevators are overrated. I don't know. I take the stairs sometimes because it's just fun.
There we go.
They're fun.
2% of the world takes the stairs, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which depends on how far. Like,
Pump prices, Mike Leister. That's his big stat. 2% of the world takes the stairs. If you follow Mike, he's hilarious. He's like a guy I've got to know over the years through Jim Jones and stuff. He was with Men's Health, and now he's huge. He has a great podcast. He has great books. And on that book, he talks about being 2%er, and that's what his whole, like, Instagram is. Like, join the 2%ers, right? And the 2%ers take the stairs. Like, how can you do that?
The stairs are great. Like, I mean, honestly, I just don't have patience. I don't have patience for an elevator. Remember the elevator we took in that mansion on that trip in Collingwood?
Oh, yes.
There was an elevator in the mansion, and when we were going from the third floor to the main floor, and it literally took 15 minutes. Yes. We were like, what do we do? We were trapped. We were trapped forever in there.
Yeah, I'm elevators, I really don't care. I'm always a little bit nervous in them.
Yeah.
It's like, so this cable's hanging on to us here, and we're going to make it. One of my favorite things in the elevator, though, is when I was a cop, there was this chief who was not very well liked, or a deputy chief. I think he was not all the way up at the top. And there was this constable who was like, constables are like the guys on the road, the lowest of the low, the foot soldiers. And I was always a constable, just so you know. But one of the constables who was like brash and like very outspoken, but a really, really fucking good cop. He gets in the elevator and he's riding with the deputy chief, and it goes down to the gym. The gym was on the B1, it was called. I think the police department was like 5 or 6 floors, and B1 was the basement. B2 was where the police cars are. So it goes down to B1 where the gym is, and when this old school cop gets out, he looks at the deputy chief, and he hits all the buttons. So, it was like one of my favorite songs ever. And he gets written up for this. And he actually has a lunch for this. Like, of all things, for one grown-up man to do to another grown-up man. And for me to get so much joy out of that story and wishing I'm like, that's amazing. I would love to do that to that prick.
So funny. That's so funny. It's like, damn, I gotta take the damn step.
So I'm always on the elevator. I always kind of smirk to myself, thinking like, man, I would love to do that. Especially to some people, you get in, somebody's being like, they're kind of being rude. You know what I hate about elevators too? Seeing in all these hotels lately is when I'm in the elevator, it opens and I want to get out, but you come in before you let me out. Like, yeah, that is such a pet peeve. I should have brought that on the 12 episodes. Pet peeve of mine. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. I got my suitcase. I'm trying to check out. I want to exit the elevator so that you can enter the elevator and occupy my space. But you come in with your suitcase and stand in front of the freaking door. That guy, I want to go and all the buttons to.
Yeah. Next time.
Like, so inconsiderate.
Whenever I get that opportunity next time, I'm going to do it, then I'm going to text you.
Oh, I feel like it'd be hilarious if you did it to Lisa. Michael!
Yeah. So funny, probably.
My dad would be so pissed if I did that to him. I would love.
So funny.
All right, over here. A poop. Oh, a pool. I thought my kid's running. I thought it said a poop.
A poop.
A poop. Very, very underrated.
Underrated.
Than morning poop. But this one is a pool.
A pool.
Pool. You a big pool guy?
I'm overrated.
Really?
I think pool's overrated. Lisa wants one. I'm like, I couldn't care less. Like, I don't want to be dealing with that. I don't want to be dealing with a pool man or a pool boy.
Man. I know that when we first moved to Amherstburg, we had a pool, and I freaking loved it. I miss it. I wish. I'm going to say underrated. I love pools. But the question out here for people all the time in the area that we live in, being like, this kind of access we have to the Great Lakes and everything, Detroit, remember all those things, and in particular Amherstburg, right across the street from me, like Elise, like she's got her boat right in front. Her brother's boat's right there
so
at her house.
Yeah.
Sick. But like, pool or boat. That's like one of the debates.
I'd be a boat.
You're a boat, really?
I'd be a boat.
I'm a pool guy. I just feel like you can just go right out to the pool and get in.
Fair.
Whereas the boat, it's like a big, unless you have that setup like I talked about across the street from me, where you're like, just walk out your back door, jump in the boat.
Yeah.
But when you gotta like either drag a boat or go to the boat, bring all your food with you, and like I feel like that's a big to do.
It's like a resistance thing, right? Like, because pool would be good, I guess, if I had one, but I wouldn't go out my way to put one in. I wouldn't buy a boat unless I lived on the water.
Right.
Because of what you just said. Like, I want to be able to jump on and go. Because, like, I want to wakeboard. I want to, water ski. I want to do the fun things on the water. I don't want to chill there and eat grapes all day.
Right, but I guess the advantage of a boat is you're going to get out there and you're away. You're not at your house. You're not going to start tinkering with, the lawnmower spark plug that needs to be replaced. Right? Things like that. You're on the boat. You're on the boat. But I also find that, like, a lot of times I've been on people's boats, shit goes wrong with those things, man.
Well, it's just,
And you're like, they're out there tinkering with, like, the battery. I need somebody to jump. I need a tow. It's like, just a lot.
They say boat stands for bring out another 1,000. Yeah, so it's just the most expensive hobby ever. But like, I just want to wakeboard now. I want to be doing sports things on a boat.
Let's say my neighbors there, that not the ones across the street, the ones that actually share the driveway with me, man, they're out in their boat like religiously, and it's like a big family thing. So I can see the value in that. That'd be fun. I just feel like cool. Also, you'd always be hosting people like, come on over, and when the kids and the boys get older. I know that my mom and dad, when I was, in my teens, we had a pool, and my buddies and the girls, the guys, we'd all be there.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's some security in that, knowing that your family, your kids are still having fun. They're getting into trouble. They're probably having some drinks out there, but They're
Right.
doing it in your house.
Yeah, you're under your supervision. Yeah, yeah.
And my mom was always happy to come out and feed everybody and all those things. I would like to have that maybe, down.
Well, cause you're like, then you're known as like the coolest parent in the world, man. Like my parents were always like that, cause everyone kind of came over to our place. We didn't have a pool, but it was always the same thing. Like everybody knew my mom. Everybody called my mom, and my dad, they knew my friends were so close to my parents that like, they were like second parents.
Same, man.
Which is awesome to be able to have that.
Tell me the pools are like $100,000 minimum to put in them now. And like, even if I had that money, in my yard, as big as my yard is, I can't see myself wanting to take away any of that space. And
you have such a sweet
I
yard.
I love sitting out there and enjoying it. I feel like a pool would, there's so much room. It probably wouldn't even make a difference. But for me, it's like hard to get my head around if I would want to do that.
Yeah.
If I could.
To me, it's the maintenance. I think they're overrated.
Overrated. Overrated, underrated. We don't usually disagree. We did on a few of them today.
Yeah, a couple today.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. So you got a big weekend coming.
Big weekend.
You got the baby shower.
Yeah.
What you didn't see behind the scenes was me getting in shit just outside the door because I forgot your card.
Card for today?
Well, I can't go to the baby shower.
Oh, damn.
Sundays are a bad day for us. So
oh, damn.
We're literally tied up the whole time the open house. We're literally tied up the whole open house time. So, anyways, we had a card for you. So make sure you stop by my house when you drive home. Okay. I already got shit, so get me in less shit by actually stopping by the house.
That's fair, man. That's
yeah, man. Yeah, baby shower. You are going to, it's a funny day for the man.
Yeah.
It's a funny day. Probably for both of you, but from a man side of things, it's like, oh my God. Like, what am I going to do with this? You have just, there's so much stuff. There's so much boxes and things to put together. And you're like, but they also like, and it's great. It's very like, you're grateful for it, but it's also like, you get stuff for not just when the baby's a baby. You're getting stuff that you won't need for a year or two.
Oh,
man. And you're like, what do I even do with this? Right. And it's like, oh my God. Like, I remember we had so many diapers at all ages. I was trying to get them organized so none of them would get wasted.
Right.
And I feel like at the end of it, I was just giving diapers to people because I like, God damn it, I had these ones for infant. I missed them. And now they're no good anymore. Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, damn. Yeah. Like that's the one thing that I don't want to pay for is diapers, but it is what it is. Just because it's just.
Don't do cloth, man. Because I'm an environmental person, but.
Yeah.
But Joe did the cloth. Disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know if I can handle it, man. I'll probably.
He had like a bucket of shit in it all the time.
A bucket? You put it in a bucket?
I was soaking these like diapers in a bucket so that you could then wash them. And he didn't last very long.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even get my head around it. I'm like, I will not help change that child with that diaper. Like, never. I wasn't a big diaper changer, with my weaknesses to the smells and the gag reflex I have. But I did them when I had to.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta do what you gotta do. 50 around my house, thank God.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll keep up with it.
That's crazy, man. It'll be good though. I'm excited, man. I'm super excited. Like every day goes by, I'm like, man, like when, like how much time we got? Like where's he at? Like let's go. Is the bun out of the oven yet? Like what's going on?
Yeah, it's getting big, and I'm excited for you too. And I hope you guys do great this weekend.
Yeah, me too, man. It'll be fun. I wish you guys could be there, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, as usual.
It's all good.
As usual. We are not good at making your things. And you guys are also very close to the day notifiers of events.
Oh yeah, same day. Hey, we got this thing going on today. You want to do something?
Hey, we got an engagement party on Friday. It's Monday, Mike.
Yeah, didn't want to wait. Let's go.
Amazing. All right, man. It's an awesome episode. I hope you guys enjoy. Keep following us, like us. Hit up Mike if you're interested in his new service or you know somebody who would be good for him to reach out to. And if you're interested in a little bit of a transformation, you want to get your mind right, your body right, hit me up.
Yeah, let's go.
Love to work with you. Let's make some muscle.
Let's go.
Over and out.